We have team coverage of any potential issues happening at the polls. We're going to start with our Angie Racono, who is joining us from the Northland. And Angie, you talked to a first-time voter. What an election to be voting and to be a first-time voter.
Oh, I know, because it's such a contentious election. And then on top of it, you have the pandemic. So if you're wondering about data, there's a lot of new first-time voters, not just young people, but older people who've decided they want to vote in this election. And then, of course, you have the younger people who say this election is important and they want to vote.
It was really crazy going through everything, just waiting in line, having to stay 6 feet apart, and just getting to see like everything that's going on, especially being a first-time voter.
Kirsten York voted for the first time with her mom, Julie, today. Kirsten is a senior at Liberty High School. She was in and out in about 30 minutes, which for this location is really impressive. Political experts partially credit early voting and more mail-in ballots for the surge in voting. But of course, there's a lot of enthusiasm on both sides. So we're talking to first-time voters. We're also tracking problems. The good news is we're not hearing of any major concerns, but there are those bumps in the road. We'll have much more on that coming up at 6 o'clock. Reporting live in Kansas City, Angie Racono, KCTV5 News.
Yeah, the good news is people are getting in and getting out without any real problem. Angie, thank you.
All right, now let's go to Kansas, where our Betsy Webster has been watching the polls for us there. Betsy, are you hearing of any problems at this point?
Really nothing significant. Maybe a couple people who couldn't get their mail-in ballots, but they were able to find them or vote provisionally. We're at 103rd and Row at a polling place, and I want to show you what it looks like right now, because this is kind of what we've been seeing at several of the other polling places we visited this afternoon. Wide open. We've got we have one voter, and then all the people standing over at the sides. We got one voter who just came in, and then if we can look over at all the other people sitting, those are volunteers. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 volunteers, one voter. Now, if we move over to where I am, there's also a poll monitor. This woman is a poll monitor with one of the political parties. I want to give you a list of some of the things that poll monitors are watching for today. This is in general, not specific to any state, but they're watching for long lines, and as well as whether polls open and close on time. They're wondering and taking care of whether masks are available for those who want them. They're reporting on any voting machines that aren't working and any issues with accessibility for the disabled. That includes access to curbside voting. They're watching to be sure entrances are not blocked. They're reporting on any possible intimidation that includes undue police presence or civilians brandishing weapons. And finally, they're also looking at any problems with the type of ID being required to vote. Now, the woman, poll monitor here, told me that there is another thing that she's been watching for that's not on that list, to be sure that no one is running into trouble with, as I mentioned, someone who has a mail-in ballot or applied for one but hasn't received it yet. Somebody who registered in time but their names aren't showing up on the polls. She's making sure that a provisional ballot is provided to them. Now, the ACLU is the official poll monitor for the state of Kansas. They told me that they've had 115 calls to their hotline today, and that is a statewide number, but that all of those issues are ones that they were able to resolve by phone. Nothing significant enough to require one of their attorneys to visit a polling place, and they're not aware of any problems in Wyandotte or Johnson counties. Reporting live in Overland Park, Kansas, Betsy Webster, KCTV5 News.
All right, Betsy, thanks for the update.